Hey, it's Shannon, Cobb, Networker Solutions, coming at you today from my home office. And today is a really exciting video, and here's why. I am going to be teaching you some phone sales training tips for network marketing professionals. So I hope you're excited. The first thing I want to go over with you is just a couple of things that you'll need to reach your goals. So if one of your goals is to connect with, recruit, and build relationships with people, one of the things that I suggest that you do is start a activity tracking sheet that you can use either online through activitytracker.com, or you can just have right next to your planner a piece of paper that says the following. The first thing, most important, is to have like a little dash for all the dials that you're making, all the connections that you're making, all the exposures that you are making, all the presentations that you are doing, all the appointments that you have set, whether they be for a phone conversation or a meeting in person. And also you want to keep track of the sales that you've made. How exciting, right? So you can do this activity tracker online at activitytracker.com, or I actually prefer to do it on pen and paper right along with the notes I'm making on the prospects and the friends and people that I'm talking with. So I actually suggest, you just have a piece of paper that you write all that out on. So now I'm going to go over what those actually mean. So what does it mean to make a dial? That one's pretty obvious, right? So when I call someone on the phone and I leave a voicemail, that's just considered a dial. Pretty simple, right? Now, what does connections mean? In order for you to put a dash next to the connections column of your tracker sheet or on the website, you would need to actually have a voice-on-voice conversation with someone. So that would be like, hey, Susie, glad I caught you today. She's busy, you're busy, so you set up a appointment. So that's where you have the appointment set. You'd be putting a dash there anytime that you have set an appointment to meet with someone in person, or you are setting an appointment to call someone back at a time that's more convenient for you and them. So the next one is exposure. So let's say that you've exposed someone to a product or service or an opportunity that you are involved with. You could put a dash next to, those conversations. And, what is exposing really about? I get this question a lot. Like, why even bother writing down if you're exposing someone if you don't set an appointment? So here's a really good question. Why keep track of how many people you're actually exposing? Well, if you're someone who enjoys talking with people, most salespeople do, or network marketers enjoy helping people and having conversations with people. It's a good way to keep track of if you're making a lot of dials, making a lot of connections, but not getting appointments and exposure. So are you being more of a chatty Cathy when you're talking to people and not really, exposing people to what you do and setting those future appointments? The next one I want to talk about is the presentations. How many presentations, how many eyes are you getting on your company, service, or product? How many people are actually seeing a presentation, whether it's an appointment you've set with them to do a presentation in person at a coffee shop, or if you're calling them up like I do most of the time and leveraging an online presentation. So that column is very important so we can keep track and see where the bottlenecks are. Maybe you have a bottleneck when maybe you have no problem making a lot of dials and connecting with people and exposing them, but you're just not getting, a presentation done, or maybe you're not, getting the sales made, and that's the final column. Is how many people are you actually selling? So selling is so important. It has a little bit of a negative, reputation, but sales is awesome. Sales is when the money is made. Sales are awesome. So who would want to make a bunch of dials and make a bunch of connections and do a lot of presentations and at the end of the day have no sales? Most people wouldn't raise their hand and say, that's exciting, no sales, I didn't do anything today. So, that's just not something that, we want to make sure we're really keeping track of where we're missing the boat and where we can fill that bottleneck. So if you're calling 10 people, connecting with 4, and exposing 2 and doing 1 presentation, the percentage of people you're gonna, the probability of the amount of sales you're going to make at the end of the day is pretty obvious. You would probably want to either stay consistent with that or increase the amount of dials and connections and exposures and presentations you're doing in order to reach your end goal. So here's a funny tip for you. Let's say you're like me and you have a ton of people opting into your website, and you have just this huge list in front of you of people that you want to connect with, and it's, maybe you talked to a few people and you got hung up on, or you talked to a few people and you just didn't have any type of chemistry with that person and just things didn't go well. So that has happened to me in the beginning of my phone sales, trust me. So here's a little fun tip for you, just between you and me, of something to keep your phone calls and your connections really light and fun. And that's obviously have a pen, a piece of paper, and a planner next to you so that you can keep track of these relationships that you're building and these people that you're getting a hold of. You want to actually keep track of them. But here's the fun part, in addition to the glass of water. As you're staring down at your list and you're about to dial someone, let's say you're calling someone named Susie or Jenny or Cindy. So as you're about to hit talk and dial them, you just say their name in the funniest way possible. So let's say I'm about to call Cindy. I'll say Cindy. Or if I'm about to call Jenny, I'll say Jenny. And so how can you not smile and laugh when you've done something that ridiculous and silly before you've made a connection? So that's my tip of the day. Now, if you are someone that enjoys phone sales, you enjoy connecting with people, or maybe you're a work-at-home mom in a direct sales or network marketing opportunity and you're hearing a lot of objections and you're having a little bit of trouble reaching your goals, hitting your ranks, and you'd really like to increase your numbers, I want you to click the link below and watch the free training that talks about how to hypnotically trigger people to say yes. And before you get nervous and think that this is some kind of ninja voodoo you're going to be doing, it's actually not. It's a very valuable training that I actually coach people one-on-one in addition to being an affiliate for. So I'd like you to check out this free training. You will definitely love it. I suggest taking notes while watching it. And after you're done watching this free training, I definitely encourage you to reach out to me if I haven't reached out to you first, and let me know what you thought of it and what you liked best. So we'll be talking with each other soon. Don't be afraid to leave the best phone number, and reach out to me on my Shannon Cobb Networker Solutions page on Facebook. I hope to see you there soon as a new face. And when you get there, like the page and message me and let me know a little bit about your story. Talk to you soon.